I was traveling with Merritt Incorporated, checking store attendants for larceny with a crew of shoppers. There was two middle-aged cunts, one owning this chihuahua, which whimpered and yacked in a cocoon of black sweaters, and Bob Schaefer, crew leader, who was an American fascist with Roosevelt jokes. It happens in Iowa this number comes over the car radio. Old Sal got caught in the fence last spring. And Schaefer said, "Oh my God, are we ever in Hicksville?" Stopped that night in Pleasantville, Iowa, and our tires gave out. We had no tire rations during the war for such a purpose. And Bob got drunk and showed his badge to the locals in a roadhouse by the river. And I ran into the sailor under a potted palm in the lobby. We hit the local croakers with the fish poison kind. I got these poisoned fish stuck in the tank transported back from South America. I'm an ichthyologist, and after being stung by the dreaded kangaroo, like fire through the blood, doctor, and coming on now. And the sailor goes into his white-hot agony act, chasing the doctor around his office like a blowtorch. He never missed, but he burned down the croakers. So, like Bob and me, when we had a catch, as the old cunts call it, and arrested some sulky clerk with his hand deep in the company pocket, we take turns playing the tough cop and the con cop. So I walk in on this Pleasantville croaker and tell him I have contacted this Venusian virus and subject to dissolve myself in poisoned juices and assimilate the passers-by unless I get my medicine and get it regular. So I walk in on this old party smelling like a compost heap and steaming demurely, and he snaps at me. "What's your trouble, young man?" "The Venusian gook rot, doctor." "Now see here, young man, my time is valuable." "Doctor, this is a medical emergency." "Oh, shit, but good." I walked out on a nod. All he had was one fix, sailor. "You're loaded, you assimilated the croaker. Left me sick." Yes, he was old and tough, but not too tough for the caustic enzymes of woo. The sailor was thin and the drugstores was closing, so I didn't want him to get physical and disturb my medications. The next croaker wrote with erogenous acid vats on one side and Nagasaki ovens on the other. We nodded out under the rubber trees with a long red carpet under our feet back to 1910. We could buy it in the drugstore tomorrow, or lay up in the chink laundry on the black smoke, drifting back through stale rooming house, flesh, pool halls, and chilly houses. Fell back in sad flesh, small and pretentious, in a theatrical boarding house. The aging ham cradles his tie-up and stabs a vein like Cleopatra applying the asp. Click back through the cool, gray, short-change artists, lush rolling ghost of drunken sleep, empty pockets in the worn metal subway dawn. I woke up in the hotel lobby, the smell heavy and calm holding me, holding a different body molded to the leather chair. I was sick, but not needle sick. This was black smoke yen. The sailor, still sleeping. He looked very young under a wispy mustache. I woke him up, and he looked around with slow hydraulic control, his eyes unbluffed, unreadable. "Let's make the street. I'm thin." I was, in fact, very thin, as I saw when I stopped in front of a mirror panel and adjusted my tie knot and a starched collar. It was a neighborhood of chilly houses and cheap saloons with free lunch everywhere and heavy, calm bartenders humming Sweet 16. I walked without thinking like a horse will and came to the Chinese laundry by Clara's massage parlor. We siphoned in the chink in front, jerked one eye back, and went on ironing a shirt front. We walked through a door and a curtain, and the black smoke set our lungs dancing the junkie jig. We lay up on our junk hip while a Chinese kid cooked our pills and handed us the pipe. After 6 pipes, we smoke slow and order a pot of tea. The chink kid goes out to fix it, and the words hatch in my throat like already written there. I was reading them back. Lip reading, we call it in the trade. Only way to orient yourself when in Rome. I've checked the harness bull. He comes in McSorley's every night at 2:20 a.m. and forces the local pederast to perform this unnatural act on his person. So regular you can set your watch by it. I won't, not again. Glub, glub, glub. So that gives us 20 minutes at least to get in and out through the side window. In 8 hours start, we should be in St. Louis before they miss the time. Stop off and see the family. Memory pictures coming in. Little Boy Blue and all the heavy silver sets and banks and clubs. Cool, heavy eyes moving steel and oil and shares. I had a rich St. Louis family. It was set for that night. As we walked out, I caught the Japanese girl picking up laundry, and my flesh crawled under the junk, and I made a meet for her with the afternoon. Good plan to make sex before a caper. Housebreaking can cause this wet dream sex tension, especially when things go wrong. Once in Peoria, me and the sailor charged a drugstore, and we can't find the jimmy for the narco cabinet, and the flash won't work, and the harness bolt sniffing around the door. And there we are with a sex current, giggling ourselves off like beached idiots. Well, the cops got such nasty kicks from our condition, they took us to the RR station. We get on a train, shivering, burning, junk sick, and the warm vegetable smells of thawing flesh and stale cum slowly filled the car. Nobody could look at us, steaming away there like manure piles. I woke out of a light yen sleep when the Japanese girl came in. 3 silver digits exploded in my head. I walked out into streets of Madrid and won a football pool. Felt the Latin mind clear in baneless sunlight. Met Paco by the soccer scores, and he said, "Que tal, Enrique?